Good morning, this is Kevin Cantrell with the Yard Hydrant Made Easy. We have an example here of a customer that called over the weekend that accidentally backed into their Woodford hydrant with their vehicle. This hydrant we actually installed back about between 4 and 5 years ago. We installed it in a model number 303 Yard Hydrant Made Easy, which has the dual check valve at the bottom. Once you backed into it, it cracked and broke the cap. It put a very small hairline crack in the riser, which is not structurally a problem, but obviously she bent over her hydrant. We are going to be replacing this hydrant now, so we're going to be pulling it out. We just got the water shut off. I will pull it out. Now when you do pull it out, you do want to pay attention to the orientation of the pitless adapter. So there, I've just pulled it out, pulling it straight up. And that lets me see the orientation, which is straight north on my pitless adapter. Now we will take this over to my truck. I'll put the new hydrant on it. You can actually see this hydrant is, again, between 4 and 5 years old. It's not rusted out. It still works fine, but obviously there's some deterioration of the galvanized steel. The rest of it's in good shape. We'll pull it apart, put the new one on, show you how it slides back in. This will be an example of replacing a hydrant that had an accident without doing any excavation. Okay, now we're back over here to the truck. I've got the hydrant laid out. Going to disassemble the pitless adapter and dual check valve from the bottom of the old hydrant and get it prepared to go on to the new hydrant. We will also at this time examine the O-ring, which looks good. We'll be checking it again after it's reassembled. Again, we're going to pay attention to how the pitless adapter was oriented in relation to the hydrant itself. So the customer still has the hydrant pointing the same way that it was when we came, that they're used to. That will be close. I can adjust it a little more if I need to shortly. We're now ready to go reinsert this into our product, the Yard Hydrant Made Easy. Okay, back over to the Yard Hydrant Made Easy, the location of the hydrant, with the newly assembled hydrant with the pitless adapter and dual check valve on the bottom, ready to reinstall. There it is. The closer that you have paid attention to its orientation, the better. Worst case scenario, you use a shop vac, suck the water out so you can see down there. But we're back on, in position. The hydrant's back where it needs to be. I'm going to go turn the water back on. You got the water back on. Obviously don't have the top cap on yet, but we're going to test it out. Be sure everything works fine. We always check to be sure that the adjustment on the hydrant is proper so the weep hole does not weep all the time. It should only weep if the water shuts off good at the bottom. Now our customer that called us over the weekend after they backed into this hydrant, they were concerned that maybe they caused a leak underground. They were grateful that they had a Yard Hydrant Made Easy. Of course, at the time we didn't know over the phone if there was a problem underground. Upon arriving this morning, there was no flooded area around the hydrant, and they had not shut the water off. So that indicated really no leak. When we looked at the water meter, the leak indicator was not turning. After I've turned the water back on, the leak indicator is not turning. So the only damage was to the hydrant itself due to being backed into by the vehicle. Okay, this is the final step. During the accident, the top cap did get busted. There was a little hairline crack also on this riser, which is immaterial to structure. We're not going to obviously dig it up to replace that. It's not going to be an issue. So at this stage, I'm reassembling a new top cap onto the Yard Hydrant Made Easy, and we will tighten it up, and that will be a completed job without any excavation. So there you have it, a replaced yard hydrant with no excavation. Had this just been a hydrant in the ground by itself, it more than likely would have broke off underground, caused a leak where the city had to come up and shut the water off over the weekend. The customer's very happy. They didn't have to have any excavation done. Thank you very much.